Nation, Clemson Nation, we are live, as you can see, out here at Romeo's Pizza in College Avenue. We're going to be here all day. Also, if you come down to Romeo's Pizza and mention IBO, you get 10% off. The pizza is delicious. I've tried it. We're here. I'm here with Michael Adcock.
Hey, guys. Go Tigers.
And we're going to talk a little bit about Clemson football, of course. We're going to bring Brian from Romeo's Pizza in. And he's going to talk about his pizza and his place, his business, and then we're going to do a little bit of game picks. So, all right. So we're going to be here all day. And we're on the third game of the season. What have we seen?
We're going to be consistently getting better.
You know, I was just thinking about it on the ride down here, a little bit about what's going on with Clemson football. You know, we played Duke. We played on Monday night. We played away. If you look at the game and you analyze the game, basically – we were in the red zone like 7 times, turned the ball over 3 times, had the ball on the 1 yard line.
Oh, and that's
twice.
Turnovers are going to kill us.
Turnovers kill us. And if you put the statistics down, we outscored them on rushing yards, passing yards, time of possession.
If you look at what Cade did, Cade literally threw the ball in their area, and the receivers just didn't catch the ball.
You're right.
So statistically, go back. Once you get emotions out of it, it wasn't as bad a game.
Not as bad as,
but it doesn't matter. A W is a W.
And an L's an L. And then we were at the game last week in Florida Atlantic.
And the first half was a little bit bumpy. But
turnovers again.
But again, we played a much better second half. And as Clemson always does, they always make adjustments the second half. That's what they'll do. And they'll do that today too. So let's be fair about it. So, but I think what you'll see is consistency. You'll see them growing every
game.
They'll get better and better.
Correct their mistakes.
And what gets me is you get the analyst right now talking about Florida State next week. Clemson doesn't have a chance. Well, good thing that analysts don't predict the game, right?
Right. Exactly.
The game isn't based on the analysts. So because Dabo has certainly been here before. Yeah. And this isn't new, and so it's every year, every game, every week, and every week is a growth. So that's kind of what it is, what it amounts to right there. That's how it works there. So, got a question for you. We need to ask about the Carolina Georgia game. Let's talk about that one real quick. Actually, let's talk about sponsors first.
Okay, let's talk about sponsors. We got a bunch of them. We of course, we got Romeo's. We're doing a show over at Boutique Luxury Opticals for the Florida State game next Friday at 12. At Last Antiques, they came on board. They're right on 176 coming in. We got Tiger Liquor right down from At Last Antiques in Pendleton. Coming down to the game, they got an excellent selection, the best selection, the lowest prices in the upstate on tailgating supplies for your spirits for the game.
Vape
Nation and Anderson. We did a show there last, it was the Duke game. It was on Monday.
It's the Duke game.
Yeah. We picked up 4 hotels, Country Inn, Holiday Inn Express, and Country Inn. Actually, 3 hotels.
Yeah.
Owned by Mr. Patel. Rains on Main. Who else we got? We got Boots and Sunnies.
Diamonds
and Gold Direct.
Yep.
Matter of fact, has the Wake Forest game, and that is in Anderson. It's right off Main Street in Anderson as you're going into downtown.
So let's talk about this, what they got going on here today. So today, if you mention I Bleed Orange.
Yeah, you come down here. Right? Well, not just today, any day.
Any day.
On the contract, It says any day. And they also got a place in Easley and another one over there in Greer.
Okay.
And I eat out all the time. And, I wouldn't say this if I didn't believe it, mean it. This pizza is one of the best pizzas I've ever had. It's fresh. The dough's made daily. Everything's daily. It's just something freshness about it.
Oh, and
it's like you're eating a healthy pizza, but it tastes good at the same time. A lot of times stuff that tastes good ain't healthy.
Tastes good, spit it out.
I mean, you see the vegetables and all that they have on their tomatoes, they're freshly sliced. It's a good pizza.
All right, so let's go back to this. Let's go to, we want to discuss 3 games we talked about.
Yeah, so let me talk about one other thing before we get into the games. I was noticing a couple things, doing a little research the other night, and a couple things fortunate is you got Shipley back there. We all know who Shipley is. He seems to be the leader of the team, and you need that leader. But he had 8.8 carries a yard.
Yeah,
That's almost a first down
it is.
against us. And then you got Shipley. I mean, you got Moffitt back there had 6.1 carries. 6.1 yards a carry. So you got both guys in there basically almost getting the first down. So what does that do? What does that say? What that says is this: if you're running, we'll mention this a little bit. If you're running good, it opens up. You get 5 or 6, 7 yards on that first play. That opens up options.
Well, it opens up a lot of different options.
Exactly.
It gives you you can't put it in the box. Constantly. You got to do a lot of different things, or you can't just shut down the receivers because then you got to concern yourself with it. So if you're on all cylinders, let's just be frank, then it's much more difficult to cover.
Yeah,
and that's the important thing, and that's why the running is so important. That's why it's important that the receivers are doing everything. That's why everything matters to be consistent. And that's why the consistency factor is a huge factor right there.
Now, my dad said something a long time ago, and it's true. Back in 1981, when we won the first national championship, he said, "Son, offense will win games, but the defense will win championships." And
absolutely,
our defense looks good. And when you look, they're clapping back there already. They're excited. So when you look at Clemson's defense, and you look at the the Charleston Southern game, they only had like 79 yards.
Right.
The whole game. I mean, that's less than like 20-some yards a quarter. And the only reason they had points is because we went back to what we talked to earlier.
Exactly.
So when you talk about defense not being sexy, it doesn't matter. It wins games. Offense, of course, is more sexy. But one thing that's really not sexy, one thing that gets the less credit of anything is when you talk about football, is people don't realize football's won at the line of scrimmage. And if you look at Clemson's offensive line, they've come a long way.
Well, now we're going to talk about Romeo real fast.
Come on, okay.
I've got some pizza coming out, too.
Okay.
I'm sorry to stop you mid-thought.
Okay.
So I want to talk football, too. What have you guys
Absolutely.
Okay, go ahead. We got some games.
So, but first of all, let's talk about the what's going on. First of all, he wants to do 300 pizzas a day. So I think that's worthwhile.
Yeah, so we're brand new to Clemson. We're excited to be here. We're right downtown. They call this the locals. They call this the Bixby area. We're right on 405 College Avenue. Yeah. This is the fourth Romeo's to open up in the state of South Carolina. Our first one was in Simpsonville, then we opened up in Greer, and then Easley, and then last Monday, Clemson. And it's been a ride. We actually signed our lease here 2 years ago when this was still a field.
Wow.
This used to be, from what I understand, this used to be a strip mall about 15 years ago. Then it was nothing for about 5 years, and then now we're here, and we're excited to be here. The Clemson community has been tremendous.
Awesome.
I live in Simpsonville myself, so I wasn't. I didn't know a lot about this area, and being here, it's been tremendous.
Nice.
The way people have absorbed us has been great. Now, today I need your help because I don't want to lose any of my dough. I don't want dough to go to waste. We're making enough dough to feed, to put out about 300 pizzas today. Yeah. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to give some discounts today. If you're tailgating to stop by, you can get a large pepperoni pizza for $15. You get a large cheese pizza for $5. If you buy 3 or more, we'll even give a 10% discount on top of that.
Nice.
Yeah, we're gonna be putting them out all day long. I'll be here. My name's Brian. My wife will be here. She's Joanna. And then we're also going to be walking down the tailgate area too. So if you see us yelling Romeo's Pizza, that's who we are.
Pretty sweet.
Their pizza. I've actually had their pizza when I went over to Easley. Did shout out personal. And I eat out a lot. I eat a lot of different places. This is the best pizza I had. I'm not just saying that. It's a fresh pizza. You can tell that it's made daily.
Ingredients,
the toppings, and everything. It just came across really good.
Yes, that's something I'll throw out there too. Is first, let me say I love all pizza, and it's my intention here is not to talk negatively about other places because I say the worst pizza I've ever had was still a pretty good pizza.
Exactly.
So with that said, some things that we do is we make our dough fresh every single day. We make our sauce fresh every single day. Now, your local mom and pop's places, they do that too. When you get into some of the big chains, or pretty much all the chains, they don't do that. And there's nothing wrong with that. They just don't do that.
That's great.
So, if you go to, say, a big chain, they're going to get their dough already frozen, already rounded out. And listen, again, nothing terribly wrong with that. But when you can tell the difference. You can absolutely
trust me. You can tell the difference. That's exactly right. Well, that's awesome right there. So
we've been shouting out to everybody in I Bleed Orange to come on down here. 10% off, right? They mentioned I Bleed Orange.
10% off if you're part of I Bleed Orange.
Okay.
Yep, you're 10% off. Yes, and that's not just today. That's all year round.
Yeah.
If you call and you let us know that you're a follower here, you're a viewer, we'll take care of you.
Okay.
So let's talk about some picks because now we got you here, and that's perfect.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
So we wanted to talk about the Georgia-Carolina game.
So
let's go with
just
that.
real quickly, I was looking at the week schedule and everything. I was looking at the schedule of the upcoming week, what games to talk about. And there are no ranked teams playing ranked teams, I can see. So we had to get creative. We actually got a Carolina fan and a Georgia fan over here, and they're Clemson fans too. But anyways, the Georgia-Carolina game, that was the first game we picked.
Yep.
And so they're playing in Georgia. Georgia's number one.
They're in the hedge. That's correct.
In the hedges.
In the hedges. She's
is
from
correct.
Georgia.
Mhm.
And
Everybody makes mistakes.
I don't know. I know that South Carolina has upset them. They upset them one time with that last second field goal back about 4 years ago.
No. Was it? Yes.
Yeah, it was down the Fraser.
Yes.
They were right
That's
number one, I
correct.
believe.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
And then because they did Alabama too, because you ever in Columbia and go to eat some of these barbecue places, they got that newspaper.
Yep.
That
That's
Carolina upset. And I'm not saying the upset can't happen. I'm just saying it ain't gonna happen this Saturday.
Well, but the potential is to be there.
yeah.
That's to be fair. I mean,
Yeah.
they're still a good team. And the thing about college, what makes college good, is any college team can beat any college team on a given day.
Right.
It's true. What college is a reflection of their coach.
Yeah.
And so what's going on down in Carolina is they're starting to build a tradition, and that's what's going on. Do I think that Georgia's going to beat Carolina today? I do. I do. I think they're going to cover the spread. I do. I think that, but I think that if Rattler has a good game, I think that he can upset the apple cart, if you will. I think he could, but it's. I don't think it'll be their game today. I
Georgia's
think
got a new
I'm going to give
quarterback.
it to Georgia
I mean,
without doubt.
Yeah, playing at Georgia.
That's just me.
I'm gonna say 52-21, but I think what you said is exactly right. A coach behind every great team's a coach,
Absolutely.
and you got Kirby Smart. Look what he's done.
Absolutely.
And then you got Beamer down there. That's changed things around. And look what happened when Dabo came to Clemson town.
Yeah.
I mean, we were a subpar team, and I always said that behind every great team's a great coach. It'll be a good game, but I don't think it's going to be a total blowout like a lot of people think. I think 52-21 really is not a blowout. What Georgia can really do. That's
No, I
touchdown.
think South
I think it'll
Carolina
be
will
close
hold
to
them,
like
will hold them
halftime.
better. Absolutely.
And they'll pull away after the second half.
Exactly correct. Because
Yeah.
again, as I've said before, you make adjustments on the second half.
Yeah.
That's what happens. So kind of go from there. So let's talk about the next one then.
You have anything to say about that game?
I do.
Yeah.
I
I'm gonna
think,
hear that.
yeah,
I
so
want to please go on.
I think
as well.
Georgia is a special program right now.
Thank you.
You know, in college football, we have a handful of teams right now that are really, really good. You know, you got Georgia,
Yeah.
you got Ohio State that's really good,
Yeah.
you got USC that's really good, you got Clemson that's
Yep.
really good.
Yep.
And for the last couple of years, it's been that way. We've had about 3, 4, 5 teams that are really good as compared to, before about 5 years ago, you normally had 1 or 2 teams. I forgot to throw Alabama in there.
Yeah.
Right now,
Texas too.
Georgia's the team right now.
Yeah.
Like they are just really thick with talent. Everything's clicking coaching wise, and they're continuing to get a lot of recruits. And here's what you don't see. Now you see it. I'm going to talk out both sides of my mouth. You see a little bit of quarterbacks, but you don't see the big transfers coming out of Georgia like you're seeing in some of the other programs like Ohio State.
Right.
Ohio State comes and they get this big recruiting class every year, and then what happens is they lose a quarter of that recruiting class every year. Georgia's special. With that said, here's what I'll say. Is I think that South Carolina has a lot of motivation because you got Spencer Rattler,
You do.
who
I
just
agree.
3 or 4 years ago
He's
was one of the top quarterback prospects to ever come out.
Oh, yeah.
I should say ever come out. But of that period, he was one of the best prospects to come out. Spencer Rattler's pretty dang good.
Yeah.
And he's got his hopes on one win Heisman. He's got his hopes on going to the NFL. Things have not panned out for his college career the way he wants, but his talent's still there.
Yep.
This right here is a game for him
For him to shout
where he
out,
comes out
I
and he
agree.
says, "Hey, remember who I am.
Yeah. Remember
This
Tennessee
is
game
who
last
I
year.
am." And I think that South Carolina also has a team that believes. It kind of reminds me, in a way, where they're at right now. It kind of reminds me of Dabo early on,
Yes,
where he didn't
exactly.
have a ton of talent. But he said, "Hey, you got to believe. We do have talent.
Yeah.
We can compete.
Yeah.
You got to believe in what I'm teaching you." And that's exactly what Beamer's doing right
Oh,
now.
yeah.
He's got
Exactly.
these kids believing. So here's what I'll say: do I think that South Carolina can win? I do. Not because they have better talent, but I think they can go out there and they can catch Georgia's not sleeping, but they can catch them not
Flat.
at full speed.
Catch it.
And I think South Carolina could come out. I will not be surprised today if it's tied or South Carolina's winning a half.
Okay.
I think the second half will be different.
Yeah.
And I'll leave you with this. And remember, I said this. You're really good teams.
Yeah.
The difference between they play from week 1 to week 12 is not much different. Your mid-tier teams, their difference between week 1, 2, 3, and 4, it improves greatly every week. The South Carolina team that comes out today won't be the South Carolina team that you saw the last 2 weeks.
Is what matters.
Georgia will look very similar last week.
Yeah.
South Carolina will look different than last week. They're going to be improved.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Same with
Georgia's
Clemson did the
best
same
test
thing.
so far.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's perfect analogy right there. I totally agree with 100%.
Yeah.
You guys are going to have me back every week.
that's
Yeah, I like a guy that comes in here and knows football.
absolutely. I mean, that's
Like-
that's it.
Yeah. We've had some people, that don't know football like you don't. I like that.
Yeah.
It gets you involved in the. So what game we got next?
So now you want to mention the Tennessee Florida. I personally don't care about that one, but okay, I'm okay with that. But Tennessee Florida.
Well, Tennessee's not the Tennessee they were last year, and we got to see
They're
them in
good.
the
I'm
Orange
not
Bowl.
gonna
We
say.
did a show over there at
Right.
Beacon last year for them. But anyways,
What do you
like I
think?
said, when I looked at the schedule, what a lot of games out there, I think Tennessee's going to win pretty good.
I do too.
I mean, they're trying to transition that new quarterback in there, and
I don't think
and,
Florida
is
is the
that
same team that
the game at Tennessee, I didn't look. No, it's at Florida, I think. It's at Florida.
I'm not sure.
It's at Florida. Makes a little bit of difference.
Well, it's a field goal, to be honest with you. The home field advantage is about a field goal. That's about the
Yeah, Florida's had this thing where they've been hiring and firing a coach
Yes.
every 3 or 4 years.
Florida's trying to free
You gotta-
find
you
out
gotta-
who they are
you
right
gotta
now.
get a
That's the
coach.
problem with that right now.
You got to get a coach to stick with it for a while. I
Exactly.
mean, as long as they stuck with Muschamp, they finally let him go. But still, you got to get a coach and stick with him.
Right.
About every 2 years, they're switching a coach. I think that's hurt Florida out.
Well, you got
But
to
it
find
could be a
you
good
got to
game.
find a team. You got to find a coach that'll grow with the team.
Yeah.
And the college tradition. What makes college so unique is each college has their own traditions. Yeah. As much as I despise Georgia,
Yeah.
I love the fact that Georgia, they have their traditions.
Yeah.
I say that in jest, but I was at Clemson at the time. We were Clemson and Georgia. We were this way.
Yeah, we played one
You were there
this year.
too.
They're
So,
coming back
but
on the
but
schedule.
but it's a fun rivalry.
August 31st, 2024, Mercedes-Benz. We're there.
Well, there you go.
Are we
playing
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're gonna.
And but anyway, so Tennessee, Georgia, Tennessee, Florida. I think Tennessee's going to win that by at least 21.
Yeah.
I just think
Yeah,
probably more
I
than
think
that.
being down there in
But,
Florida is going to make a
I
little
think
bit difference. Tennessee's
gonna
got
separate
that.
it.
Tennessee's got that.
and go from there. So I don't even think that's going to be a really close game.
Yeah.
But I think that Florida, they're
Florida
still
will
going to
eventually figure it out.
Exactly.
They've had some off years.
Right.
They just
So,
got to get the right combination together.
but I just don't think. What's your take?
I think Tennessee's good.
I do too.
I don't think they're top 10 good. I think they're solid, like top 15, top 20 good.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they're going to lose a game or two this year that they're not supposed to. I think they're going to win a game or two this year that they're not supposed to. They're dangerous, and I don't think Florida State has a chance to win.
I don't either. See, we're kind of
Yeah, and that
consistency
stadium,
factor on
especially at home, that stadium up in Knoxville is wild.
Oh, it is.
That big
It is.
difference.
It
Yeah.
is.
It's
It
definitely
is.
the 12th
It is.
man up there.
Well, I like this one here, the Colorado State.
Yeah, let me talk
I mean,
about that.
so
Did you guys talk about this one yet?
No,
let's
we're
talk
getting
about it.
But I was a big Muhammad Ali fan, strictly because Muhammad Ali, a lot of people run their mouth, but Muhammad Ali backed it up. Deion Sanders runs his mouth, but he backs it up. Deion Sanders, when he talked to
Right.
talk, prime time, when you watch some of his replays, some of his old stuff, he was just unbelievable. He was the man. And like we went back to the coaches,
he walks the walk, he talks the talk.
yeah, he
Backs up what he does.
Yeah.
Yep.
He brought his son over, which I think is cool. Son's playing quarterback for him.
Yes.
And Colorado was 1-11 last year.
Right.
They've already won 2 in a row. They upset TCU and
Yes, they
played
did.
Georgia
Yeah,
in the national championship
they did.
last year. So you can say they're a number 2 team. And they've got momentum going. I think they're the Cinderella story of this year's football.
I think
And I'm pulling for them.
I mean it's kind of hard not to with what he's doing.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard not to.
I like his
he
enthusiasm.
has lit them up, and it was he's just made it exciting down there. And again, that's what I talk about college football. That's why college football is so much fun.
Yes.
He's made it so exciting down there, and he's made believers. And that's the whole thing. If you make the believers,
Yeah.
if you start building the kids to believe,
Yeah.
watch out,
Yeah,
because
well,
that's
there.
what it takes.
Yes.
All of a sudden, they start believing what's going to happen. They believe suddenly that they can do this.
Yes.
You know, they're going to be 3-0 today. Watch
Yeah.
the way you see it.
Exactly.
They're going to be 3-0, and then people are going to start dreading to play for Colorado.
Yeah, they're
That's
ready.
what's going to happen.
As long as Deion's there, they're here to stay for a while.
Yeah, I think so.
So
I
I
think
agree.
that's been a huge boon to have Dion there.
Yeah.
I don't even think this game's going to be close.
Yeah.
But you can tell me what you think.
3 touchdowns, Colorado, at least.
See, I think it's bigger than that. I think it's 5.
Huh?
I think
Oh, really?
I think by 5.
Okay.
But go from there. What do you think?
This is an interesting game. They played 2 teams last week that, on paper, had more talent,
Yep.
and they won. On paper, Colorado has more talent. I think this is an interesting game. I would not be surprised if it's a really, really close game. I don't think they're going to lose,
It's a
but I would not
right?
be surprised if it's a really close game because they've been so up. They've over the last 2 weeks they've kind of showed themselves. We got some coming out for
Just saying that's starting to smell really good.
So right now, people aren't questioning them.
Yeah.
So the first 2 weeks they played with a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah.
Now they're kind of
Yes.
like, hey,
Yes.
you
We're
respect
for real.
us a little
Yeah.
now, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And when you let down your guard, that's when you get hit in the face.
Bingo.
So
That's right.
will they let down their guard today? The other thing I'll say about this, Deion Sanders is a really interesting addition to college football.
Yes.
And
He is.
and
I agree.
here's what's going to happen when he's winning. We're gonna understand it. We're gonna respect it. We're gonna say this is great. Look at the swagger. Look at the confidence.
Yeah.
Look at how much publicity he's getting these kids.
Yeah.
When they lose a few games, everybody's going to say it's because he's too arrogant. He's too flamboyant. He's doing too much. And that's unfair because you either like it when they're winning and you like it when they're losing, or you don't like it at all.
Yeah.
The core of me, being a college football fan,
Dion.
says this is different, right?
Yeah.
The core of me being a college football fan says you got your Joe Paternos, you got your Jim Tressels, you got your Bobby Bowdens, who they're competitive, but there was a respect level there, right?
Right.
Yeah.
They would talk a little bit of trash, but there was a respect level. And Dion, I think, is intentionally walking that line of just keeping that flamboyancy up there.
Yes.
I don't think that he's purely all that person. I think what he's really done is he's kind of changed what a head coach is right now. And he's not head coaching that team. He's CEOing that team.
Yeah.
You
That's
watch him on the
exactly what
sidelines.
he's
That's
He's
full
not calling
perspective.
timeouts.
I
He's
like
not
that.
calling plays.
I like
He's
that.
not calling
I like that.
personnel. He's
Yeah.
not telling people to go in.
Yeah.
He trusts his assistants to do that. And
Yeah.
very few college coaches do that.
Yeah.
He is completely watch him on the sidelines. He is completely removed from
Yeah,
the
I
whole
have.
place.
Absolutely.
What he does, his job, he says this. He put a bunch of good coaches. He said, "You guys coach."
It's kind of like
And
Jerry
I'm
Jones
depending
on
on
the
you.
pro side, but he actually does
Absolutely.
a better
Yep.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he said, I'm going to go out and market this thing. I'm going to CEO it. I'm going to get the recruits. I'm going to get the kids. I'm going to get the attention.
Right.
Don't let me down, coaches." It's very interesting what he's doing right now.
Yeah.
No, I agree 1,000%. That's a
I like
great
that.
analogy right
I
there.
like that.
That is
I like
that is a very unique
He doesn't
perspective.
talk football. Watch him in interviews.
Oh no,
They ask him
watched
about his
the
own
game.
coverage.
I'll-
He'll say, "Yeah, I'm going to bring my coaches." So we don't talk about
I
it.
watched him this morning. He was literally on the ESPN. He was on the College Game Day,
Yeah.
and they was talking. That's exactly
He doesn't
what
talk
he
any,
did.
he doesn't talk any
Absolutely on
football
drive-
whatsoever.
Coming up here, exactly what you
You're
said.
right, you're right about that,
exactly
yeah.
what he did.
Does he know football?
Yeah, he knows
does.
football. Play football.
But he does. That's not his zone.
He's the
out of
leader.
that
He's, like you
zone.
said, he's the CEO. He's
Yep.
the motivation behind the
Yeah.
engine that
He,
runs the
he,
machine
he
down
gets
there.
the talent together. He
Yeah.
gets
And let the
both
other guys
sides
do
of
their
the fence,
job.
whether it be the coaching, whether it be the
Like
players.
what you said.
He gets
Just the
them
opposite
together.
of what Jerry Jones does.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm a
Absolutely.
Cowboys fan.
But I just I had to say that to pick on you.
And I want
But-
to say one last thing about their program. A year ago, I was, and shame on me because I watched a couple of their games, and I told my wife, I was watching the game. I said, if that wasn't his son, he would not be playing. He would not be starting for Jackson State.
Yeah.
That was how I felt. And then when he went
I'm
to
not gonna lie, I thought the
Colorado,
same thing.
Yeah.
when he went to Colorado, I said, okay, if Dion really wants to win,
Yeah.
he's got to make a competition. He's got to bring kids in because he said from day one, basically, we got our quarterback.
Yeah.
And what he's done the first 2 games, like that kid is legit. That kid can compete.
Yeah.
Like that kid is the real deal, and I did not expect that.
Oh,
I
you
didn't.
had a heck
I
of
thought he was going to suffer.
I have to agree with him. I
Yeah.
felt exactly.
I mean,
Agreed.
that
100%.
TCU game, he had what? How many yards?
But-
Passing?
450 or
Yeah,
500.
450. He had a great game.
Once again, I'm going to repeat what I said before.
Yeah.
That goes back to where the kids buy into the coach.
Yeah.
And if they buy into what the coach sells, and gets them to believe in what they do,
Yep.
lights out because there's no telling what's going to happen. And
Yep.
that's again why college football is so dynamic,
Yep.
and what makes college football just so much fun.
Yep.
And I don't care what team it is; it doesn't make a difference. It's college football is just fun because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yep.
You really don't know what's going to happen, and you watch a team
Saturday.
comes through.
Yeah, for sure.
And they're flat, whatever, and then you hear the Bluebirds or whoever, whatever they are, and they come out.
Well,
Well, the
I
next
didn't-
week they come out and just destroy the next
I
person.
didn't see us go to the Natty in 2016. Then we got Deshaun Watson, Dabo's in place, all the Power Rangers and all that.
Yeah, but we were there 3 years in a row. 4
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
Four, so,
But the year
we were
before, we had that game with Deshaun had that surgery and Cole Stout came in. We lit up Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl, wasn't it?
Yes.
Orange Bowl. We killed them. And
Yes.
I had no idea the fall. I mean, I'm optimistic. I'm one of the most optimistic people there is on the planet.
Oh, yeah.
And the next thing you know, we are 35 years later playing for the national championship. If we had another 5 minutes, we would have won that game. You ever watched it? Came back next year and Hunter Renfro.
Yeah, can't argue that. So, I mean, yeah, it's pretty cool right there. So
What other game we got?
that's it right there. That's the games we got. So
We mentioned all the games.
we did.
Atlantic, okay.
But so
We had more. We had more games, but
I told you to do 5, but that's okay.
she got some out. We just
Anyway,
saw.
so I'd go back over your sponsors a little bit, where you're at, what you're doing, and kind of go from there.
I'm curious. We got some other teams. We got your kind of blue bloods. You got Alabama, the blue blood.
And what about
Ended up
Texas?
getting a loss last week. You got Texas coming up. You got
Yes.
Ohio State that hasn't looked as sharp as they have in years past.
USC out in California.
USC out there and Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams,
we don't get to see him on TV that much, so we don't talk about them a lot.
If you do, it's like a 10 o'clock
Dang,
night.
they're serious.
Well, I watch it a lot of times just because I'm one of these people. I'll stay up late.
Yeah, it comes on
It
night.
doesn't matter to me. I'm that guy.
And then next year we got it's still 4 this year, right?
Right.
Yeah.
4 playoff teams.
Yes.
Yeah, and then next year goes to what, 8? 16.
All right, let's have a little fun. Name. It's still very early. But who's your early?
Okay, I'm going to go with what I
playoff
went
teams?
with before we played Duke.
Okay.
So I had Clemson in it. I'm not having my totally out of it yet, but I'm going to take them out of it for a while.
All right.
All right, I got USC. I've got Ohio State. I've got Georgia. And I don't know why. Hook 'em horns. Texas.
Yeah, they look good the other night. They did.
See, I'm not going to go with Texas. The reason I'm not is because Texas is just notorious for just self-destructive towards the
I
end
know
of the
that.
season.
I just think they're going
And I just think
They're gonna do it
that
this year.
that's going to be a typical Texas team, and that's what they're going to do.
Like
Now,
Texas
that being
pitched.
said, can they win? Yes. Do they have the talent to win? Yes. So I'm not going to go there. Georgia, I think they'll be in there for sure.
Georgia.
Do I think that? I mean, could Colorado be in there?
That would be
Is it possible? I don't think so.
It's
But can they?
possible now.
Who's their toughest game? I mean, they played that.
That's my whole point.
They've got. I
see
think
a
they
strong-
played one or
strong-
two teams that are decent.
I don't-
TCU is the number 1 toughest game. I mean,
Is
they
it?
go undefeated. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of, and that's.
I think they have UCLA possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not that tough. I didn't see
I
them.
don't disagree.
I
What do they
didn't
have?
see
What do they have?
I
in
watched
like-
some
They
of their
don't have
games.
USC, do they? I don't think they have
No,
USC.
they don't. I watched UCLA and on 2 weeks ago, and I was not impressed at all.
Yeah.
I mean, they won, but
Yeah.
it was boring. How about that?
Yeah.
And it just so I don't know. So I don't know. That's a good question. With the
Play
Vikings.
Oregon.
I think it's
They have Oregon.
West.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be in a big
That'll
game.
be a good game.
They play USC.
They do play.
They do
USC.
play USC.
They do.
Okay.
September 30th.
That'll be a big
September 30th
Arizona
is
State,
USC.
Stanford,
Okay.
UCLA, Oregon
I
State,
think they'll win
Arizona.
UCLA.
Arizona's decent. Washington and Utah. Utah's good. They don't have that.
I mean, if they
Decent
beat
schedule.
USC, then they're obviously.
Yeah, they could beat USC.
Yeah.
It's on.
Yeah.
Utah's not a bad team
I
either.
don't think they'll beat USC.
I don't think so.
I could be wrong, but I don't
Probably
think they
playing
will.
at USC too.
I don't know. USC. Do we feel like they'll be in the 4th spot? No, it's hard to say. They could. They certainly
They
could.
could.
But they're awfully young for everything where they're at. I don't know. It's a tough one. I mean, it's potentially possible for sure.
Yeah, it's possible.
I just
I got Georgia.
I don't see them in there.
I'm not a big Ohio State, but I got Georgia and Ohio State in there definitely. And then you got your fringe teams. You got Texas,
I think Ohio State's consistent enough to be there.
USC, and Michigan, kind of on the outskirts there.
A lot of people want to say Michigan.
It's going to be
I'm
like
not
you
there
said.
yet.
It's not just a couple dominant teams. You got a couple out there.
And I'm gonna be honest. As much as Alabama lost to Texas,
I don't have
I
told you
still
they're not
tell
in.
you
You told
Alabama has opportunity to go there still because Alabama's
Alabama. They can go in there with one
and,
loss.
and exactly.
The quarterback needs to work some things out.
Now,
Yeah.
Florida State is possibly one that we could.
How do we not even mention it?
Florida State is one.
How do we
right
not even
now.
mention it? Yeah.
Now, personally, I hope they get dethroned big time.
Yeah.
But if they don't,
Yeah, they're number 3 right now.
if they don't,
Are they really?
then
Yeah.
Florida State has a huge opportunity.
That
to be the
that and Colorado are two big surprises. How strong
Every
that'd be a huge opportunity for them. Now, I personally hope and pray that they get dethroned, and if that's the case, then it's not. But if they
They'll
do,
be here for the noon game.
they'll be in that
Next
fourth spot for sure. So that'd be how I would look at that. So
Yeah.
there's a lot on that line.
They turned that program around. Big time.
So the best way to go from there. So there you go. So let's go over some sponsors real fast again and kind of go from there. And Rudy, get back. What we're doing is he's trying to get some stuff and reiterate what he's doing. And
Yeah, we're at Romeo's Pizza.
405 College
I'm
Avenue.
glad you guys came out here to do
Yeah.
the radio host today.
it's exciting. It's fun.
We just opened last Monday, 405 College Avenue. We're going to be giving away
4 locations.
4 locations. Yep, we're in Simpsonville, Greer, Easley, and then we're here in Clemson, right downtown, 405 College Avenue. Again, just opened last Monday. Pepperoni pizzas, larges for $15. Cheese pizzas for $10. If you mention that you are a listener, then we'll give you 10% off all of our specials. That's not just today; that's all year round.
Yeah.
Yes. Woo!
And all
That's
those
exciting.
games. And their pizza's
And
good.
Tigers!
Yeah, go Tigers.
That's exciting.
Go
So,
Now, you guys have a shared sponsor, right? It's Anytime Fitness, right?
Yeah, anytime
Yeah.
fitness.
So Anytime Fitness, I want to talk about them a little bit. That's
Sure.
another business that my wife and I are part of. We own the Anytime Fitness Club in Easley, and then we also one downtown. And then you already have a sponsorship with an Anytime Fitness franchise owner in the Spartanburg area, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So we're in Spartanburg. I think there's Spartanburg, one in Duncan, one in
Yeah.
Greer, one in Travelers Rest, and just downtown Greenville.
Sure there is. Yeah.
Easily. And just a little plug on Anytime Fitness. At the end of the day, look, a 10-pound dumbbell weighs 10 pounds regardless of where you go. But the atmosphere that you're going to be, you're in a clean facility, you're in a nice facility, you're in a secure facility.
Yeah.
To get into our club, everybody has to have a key fob. Our doors are locked.
Which
That's
that's
us.
Yeah.
So we're open 24 hours, but you can't get in even when we're staffed, even during the day without your key fob. So you get an extra level of security and protection at Anytime
Yeah,
Fitness
yeah.
Club.
that's awesome.
So eat a bunch of pizza today, and then go to Anytime Fitness
Great combination.
tomorrow to
Go!
work it all out.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and y'all are like hands-on there at Anytime Fitness.
Very, very hands-on,
Guy
yeah,
over at Spartanburg
absolutely,
went, I mean, when we did the shout-out commercial, he went on forever. Everything's in detail. He had the calorie take in, everything. Yeah, he had it down to a science.
So look, being healthy is not easy.
Yeah.
Right, and especially the older you get, it's not easy. And if it was easy, then we wouldn't have gyms, right?
Yeah.
Everybody be in shape. So what we realize is if you join, it's because you have goals that you want to hit.
That's right.
And for some people, they may know what to do, but they need the motivation.
Right.
Some people, they have the motivation to get there, but to get there, they don't know what to do. And we kind of jump in that intersection,
Yeah.
and we're going to hold you accountable. We're going to keep you motivated, but we're also going to show you
Love
what to
it.
do if you want the help. Now, if
Yes.
somebody doesn't want the help, they can do it on their own. That's fine,
Yeah.
but we'll be as hands-on as people want us to be.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like it.
that. I
That's
like that a lot.
awesome.
Thank
So,
you. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank
It's
you.
very cool. Very, very cool.
All right.
Chant.
Are we done? We're done? Okay.
I
All
can
right.
keep going for hours, but I got to go make some pizza.
All right, come on down to Romeo's Pizza, 405 College Avenue. You know where All Cones is. You know where
I imagine they'll deliver.
the junkyard is. It's right kind of in that same section as you're coming down College Avenue. We're going to end with the Tiger Chat.
You're very
All right. Oh, one little thing about pink shirts. While we got on pink shirts, I forgot to pack
clever.
the regular I Bleed Orange shirt. And just coming up, we'll mention a little bit more. We do a thing for Dabo's All In Fund. We get 50% of all proceeds to the cancer research to Dabo's All In Fund. And we actually still have Ron Brisene's number on the back. We were doing a lot of stuff with them back then. All right. So, anything else?
Nope.
Thanks for coming today, guys.
We'll
Enjoy
do
the game. Be
chant.
safe, everyone.
Entire chant with us.
I don't know all the words.
Just spell clips and then we'll do it.
All right,
All
let's
right, ready?
go.
CLEMSONGERS. Factor. Go Tigers. Woo! Wobbly hard, baby.
See you guys. Be safe today. Absolutely. That was a great time.